Hello everyone, I'm Soundarya. In today's session, I'm going to brief about the importance of NCERT and how we have to approach NCERT for UPSC examination. So most of us, those who prepare for UPSC, would have already came across these topics in our school days, right? But then during the school days, we will not learn the topic as we have to actually. So we will just go through the content. We will literally by heart without understanding the concept, without having conceptual clarity, just for the sake of appearing in the examination and clearing the same, right? So that is the reason we don't remember any of the things that we studied during our school days. So first, rule number one, whatever we are going to study or we are going to learn from NCERT, we should not mug up blindly. Okay, so we have to make a clear conceptual understanding of the topic and then analyze the topic and then remember the facts and then try to mug up the concepts, try to mug up the definitions. Okay, so this is the first rule with respect to NCERT. And now coming to the significance, how to approach the NCERT for UPSC, because we know that for UPSC we have to start from basics. We know the UPSC syllabus, it is very vast and also complex, right? So for covering the syllabus, we have to have multiple levels of preparation. So the first level of preparation begins with NCERTs, because NCERTs will have the basic concepts. It will give us the basic understanding of all the concepts in all the topics. So that will be our first level of preparing for UPSC. So apart from this first level, going on to the next level, that will be your advanced concepts. Okay, so where you have to make use of some textbooks written by various authors, and probably you will be having some 2 to 3 textbooks for each subject. Okay, and it is again not necessary to go through all the contents that are there in the textbook, because textbooks are again written for multiple audiences like the NCERTs. It is written for school children, right? So we have to be very selective and we have to make use of our syllabus to find out what we have to actually study. So again, in the advanced level of preparation, we will be dealing with the topics quite in detail. Okay, and the third level comes where you have to apply the advanced and the basic knowledge that we have gathered with the help of these textbooks. Okay, the application part will be similar to kind of problem solving, thinking. Okay, so it will widen our perspectives. So it will be like complexity, solving the complexities. So these are the 3 levels of preparation that is needed for clearing the UPSC examination. So to begin with, we have NCERTs, and in this video I'm going to tell you about how we have to approach the NCERT and what is the significance of NCERT for UPSC, especially prelims. Okay. So first, as I said, NCERT, it forms the basic understanding of all the topics. Okay, so it will give us a structure, it will give us a comprehensive framework to how to approach any topic for that matter. So what is the meaning of it? Okay, what is the meaning? Say for example, if we say inflation, so what is the meaning of inflation and what are the types that we have? Okay, and we will not find any particular single textbook which is one size which fits all for any subject in the UPSC, right? We have to go through multiple textbooks. So in multiple textbook, different perspectives will be there, different orders and different structures will be there. We have to be very selective to pick up what we need actually. But in NCERT, it will give a comprehensive approach. Like you will find it mostly relevant to go through all the topics in the way which is given in the textbook. Okay, so it is going to give a comprehensive framework, like what is the meaning, what are the types, what are the significances, what are the drawbacks, and what are the examples, etc. So this is how you have to approach each and every topic that you will be studying in UPSC. So every year, if you have done your NCERTs properly and comprehensively as needed, you will be able to solve around 20 to 25 questions in the UPSC. Okay, so this is again based upon the previous year question paper analysis. Okay, so covering all the subjects, so for example, history, geography, polity, economy, science and tech, etc., one will be able to solve 20 to 25 questions in every year's prelims. Say for example, in 2021, we can find 24 questions which can be easily answered if NCERTs are done properly. And then in 2022, in 2020, we have again 22 questions. In 2019, we had 24. So on an average, it is this much amount of questions. That is very very easy if you have done your NCERT. And see, solving 20 to 25 questions correctly is something which is going to give you a different level of advantage when it comes to the cutoff. Okay, so this much amount of significance it has with respect to the prelims. Done. So if we see about economy, on an average we can have 4 to 5 questions every year directly coming from NCERT or application oriented questions from NCERT. So we will discuss what are those and how we have to proceed further from here. So first, to begin with, we have to know answer for all these: how to study NCERT, what to study, because what to study, how to study is something which is different for UPSC when you compare with your school days, right? So we have to again relearn all these things in these perspectives: what to study, how to study, and then we have to know how to revise. It is again a very, very important component when it comes to UPSC, because everyone will be able to complete at least 60 to 70% of their syllabus minimum, I'm saying, before the examination. But it is very few people who actually go through multiple revisions. Okay, since this exam takes more than 1 year time to qualify, or it is a very long process, what is very important? It is very important to keep on revising it frequently again and again, because most of the students who are not able to qualify prelims will have the problem with respect to revision. Okay, so on the day of the examination you will have the questions in front of you, so you will feel like, oh my god, I learned this question, I know this question, but you will not able to mark the correct answer just because you lack clarity or you forget few things related to the topic. So that is when revision becomes very, very important, but this part is not done by most of the people. If you are going to do it, then you will be in the advantage, right? Advantage zone. So make use of this. How to revise, we will see, because NCERTs are again going to be very, very bulky, because for many subjects you will have to start from basics, that is from 6th standard, and for polity and economy you will do only 11th and 12th, but then it's again going to be very bulky, right? So we will have to find out some ways to make it precise and in a format that we will be able to keep doing multiple revisions. Okay, and next, how to apply what we learned in NCERT in the examination, from NCERT in the examination, and how to practice the test. So these are the areas that we are going to discuss now. So first, what to study from NCERT. NCERT is given for school children, and depending upon the standards, we will have the topics. But for UPSC aspirant, you will have to find out what to study from your syllabus. So have your syllabus copy in front of you, and I would suggest you to go to the NCERT with a subject specific approach rather than standards approach. So most people will follow this approach, like they will start from 6th standard to 12th standard and complete all the subjects. But I would say do it the other way. So pick up a subject, say for example economy, and have the economy syllabus with you. Okay, again the prelims part and then the main syllabus. So from the prelim syllabus, you go and choose the topics which are there in the syllabus, prelim syllabus, in your economy NCERT. For economy, I would suggest 11th and 12th is sufficient. So find out what are the topics that are common in the 11th and 12th standard NCERT from your economy prelim syllabus. So do that topic only. Okay, so go for subject wise approach and not classes wise approach. This is the first thing. And then, as I said, not all subjects have to be studied from basics. But if you say, if we think about history and geography, these are certain subjects which have to be studied from class number 6. So again, we have some divisions there. So not all subjects have to be studied from the basics. Okay, go with the lower grade textbooks for subjects like history, geography, science and tech. And again, be selective. Make references with your syllabus. And for the higher classes textbooks, we can make use for polity and economy. Okay, this process will actually make your fundamentals very strong, because you're not going to complete the entire syllabus with NCERT, but just you're going to lay the foundation. Okay, done. Coming next, how to study. So this is something which can be applicable to all type of preparations, not just to UPSC. So whenever we are appearing for any exam, what we have to do is we have to first take the syllabus, go through the syllabus, understand the demand of the examination by analyzing the syllabus. Okay, so these are the contents that the UPSC demands from an aspirant to be thorough about. Okay, on that note, what you have to do is you have to again go through the PYQs, previous year questions. So you have your syllabus with you, and when you go through the previous year questions, you will be able to find out what type of questions are being asked, whether the student's factual knowledge is tested, or conceptual clarity is tested, or analytical thinking is tested. So we will have to find out what actually is being asked in the UPSC examination. Say for example, if you take any concept in economy, say for example, I am taking balance of payment concepts. It is in the external sector. It is again in your NCERT. So in your NCERT, we will have this content related to balance of payment. Like for example, what is mean by balance of payment? What is exchange rate? So what are the different types of exchange rate, etc., etc. In UPSC, the examination paper will not just ask you what is mean by exchange rate, but it will ask you what happens if this exchange rate is getting increased, what happens if Indian currency is getting devaluated. So in that note, we have to apply the basic understanding of these terms to answer the question. So here again, this framework of knowing analytical perspectives is again obtained from analyzing the PYQs. So mostly in today's time, we have current affairs linked PYQs, we have application oriented PYQs, and we have some complex problem solving oriented PYQs, and some PYQs are very, very simple that you will be able to answer if you have gone through the current affairs, especially the newspapers regularly. Okay, so go through the PYQs. So then you will be able to understand, okay, so these are the questions are being asked. In that case, if I'm going through any NCERT, I will have to have this perspective of learning. So this is becoming important because in NCERT UPSC question paper, this fact has been asked. So if you go through some similar facts, you underline it and then make a note of it. Okay. So you will come to know what is important, what to study from NCERT and what not by PYQs, previous year analysis. And one option I would suggest you is to raise questions on yourself. So if you are reading a topic and if you are able to comprehend it better, at the end of at the end of your studying the particular para, for example, you try to raise questions on the similar lines of the PYQs. Okay, so what type of questions can be asked from this para? You raise it on your own and find solutions. Just jot down some few points related to that. Okay, maybe if you are studying about different dynasties during the medieval period, so you have already come across a question in the previous year paper which is asking you to arrange the dynasties in a proper chronological order. So you have gone through the previous year paper and now you are going to read the dynasties, then what you have to think, okay, so in this way the UPSC is asking questions, and within one particular dynasty also there are different rulers. So let us raise a question like how arrange the rulers in a proper chronological order. So you are raising your own question and jotting down the points. This is how the study has to be done. Okay, it is applicable not only for your prelims but also for your mains. During mains also, whatever topics that you are coming across, so even in the NCERT, you have to link it with current affairs and try to frame your own questions and have some 4 to 5 key points for answering. So this is again very, very important. Okay, underline all the important points. As I said, it is not needed to learn from A to Z everything in the NCERT. So what you have to do is first underline all the important points. You know what is important now from PYQs. And then what can be done is depending upon the type of NCERT that you are reading and the type of the topic and the weightage, you can have 2 approaches. One is to make short notes of the topic. Okay, if you are reading some 15 to 20 pages of any chapter in the NCERT, what you can do is, I will show you the example. Take any A4 sheet, divide it into 2 to 3 columns and write as small as possible for you to read. Okay, and don't write everything. Write only what is important and what is very much needed for you to remember. Okay, so it is like a short notes. It is like tidbits. Draw some diagrams and try to write only what is required for the examination and not everything. Initially you will write everything, but that is fine. But try to write only what is needed for the examination and what is very much needed for you to revise it multiple times. Okay. And then in this way, you can consolidate 20 pages chapter into 3 to 4 pages maximum. Okay, when you are able to put it down into 3 to 4 pages, then again you will be finding it easy to revise it n number of times. Okay, once the NCERTs are done, people will not sit again, take the NCERT, read from the beginning. That is not going to work. It will be like reading it again from the beginning. N number of times you read, you will be finding it that it is actually reading like a first time. So in order to avoid that, we have this short note format. Okay, and synopsis for better clarity, because when you write down something that you read, it will again give you some clarity while writing. You will find that, okay, you are able to understand much better without reading it blindly. Okay, so cross reference with other standard textbooks or study materials. Yeah, so you will read something in NCERT, okay, but you can find the same topic across different sources in advanced textbooks and even in the newspapers also. So I am taking references to newspapers. In NCERT, you will read about exchange rate. In everyday newspaper, you will see whether Indian rupees are getting appreciated or depreciated, how far the devaluation is actually good for the economy, or how the Indian economy is growing, what happens to our national income. So you have to again link these two things for better clarity and analysis, and that is how your analysis will begin. Apart from reading what it is, you will see what actually happens to it in the current affairs. Okay, then make use of the maps. It is again very important. Maps, diagrams, etc. Especially when it comes to geography, again it will give you conceptual clarity, and it will also help you solve many PYQs, many prelims questions also. We will now see the example of these short notes, like how you have to make the short notes. So these are the examples of short notes. Okay, so you have your A4 sheet paper with you. You are dividing the A4 sheet into 3 columns or 2 columns, and this is the small size font which I can see. Again, you are going to revise your notes, right? So write in such a way that you're able to read it. Okay, nothing much. And again, I'm not written everything that is there in the NCERT. So I'm very selective, and I'm writing only what is needed for me to revise and understand the concept. Clear? So go through this once. This is how use multiple colors, make it attractive so that you don't get bored when you are reading it again. So find it very interesting so that you get the mood to revise it multiple times, and make it purposeful. Okay, make it meaningful. See, put boxes wherever needed. Clear? And this is something from geography. Again, you can follow this format for geography. So this is about the structure of the earth interior, like how it is divided. So again, it depends on your knowledge and it depends upon your requirement. You can keep writing whatever that is needed. Okay, if you find these are very basic things I can remember, then skip it. If you find any additional informations also from any other sources, you can just pick up this paper and you can write it. Okay, at the end of every unit, leave some 3 to 4 blank pages so that you can actually consolidate your current affairs also related to this topic. So this is something which is very much needed. And again, you will have some multiple approaches with this note making, because one size fit will not fit everything, right? So this is from your GC Leong of geography. So mostly we will be studying the landforms, processes, and examples from the GC Leong, right? So in that note, you can make a tabular column like this, and you can write down all the landforms, what are the erosional landforms, what are the depositional landforms, how they are formed, and give some examples, etc. Okay, so this process of note making will help you to revise NCERT. So revision of NCERT is again a big challenge for all the aspirants, and if you are able to consolidate your NCERT into short notes like this, you will find it easy to read again and again. So you will remember it very easily. It is easy to revise also, and you will be having comparative advantage over the other aspirants who are not revising, and that will again actually going to fetch you extra marks in the examination. Okay, compile them together, go through multiple times, and remember all the important facts and concepts. So it will again take very less time for you to revise if you have this kind of revision material with you. If you don't have this kind of revision material, if you are again going to start from the NCERT, it will take more time. More time in sense, how much time it initially took for you to complete it once, the same amount of time it will take again. So don't do that. This is about revision, and it is very, very important. Okay. Next, so how to make use of the NCERT content in the examination? You will have direct questions, you will have applied questions. Direct questions are those which are very easy and you can directly answer it from NCERT without having to have any kind of analysis, etc. And second type of questions need some critical thinking, and you will have to have the ability to connect concepts across different subjects. Okay, so these are the two types of aspects in which the questions will be asked from NCERT. We will have examples for these now. So for direct questions, what we can do is we have to make use of NCERT questions. In every NCERT chapter, at the end of the chapter, we will have some 3 to 4 questions, right? Don't skip that questions. You use that NCERT questions, practice that NCERT questions. Sometimes UPSC will ask those NCERT questions also, okay? And then prepare some sample questions, as I said earlier, on your own and consolidate these two so that you will have a good collection of direct questions that you expect and the UPSC ask from NCERTs. Clear? So we have one example. See, this was a question asked in UPSC prelims. This is from your history NCERT. Building Kalyana Mandaps was a notable feature in the temple construction in the kingdom of Chalukya, Chandela, Rashtrakuta, Vijayanagara. So the answer is Vijayanagara, and it is a very direct question. You can see this NCERT text. Okay. So this is from your themes in Indian history part 2. So are you getting it? We have these kind of direct questions also from NCERT. So you don't have to do much. You have to go through the PYQs and see, okay, so these kind of factual questions are also being asked. So this is something about Arkan architecture. So in that note, we have to find, okay, this is a significant feature which was done during the period of Vijayanagara Empire. Okay, that's it. These are the direct questions. And see, the effect of devaluation of currency is it necessarily? What happens when devaluation is done? So the question is about the effect of devaluation of currency. So when RBI is doing it voluntarily, it becomes devaluation. So why RBI is going to do devaluation? You have about this in your NCERT. Okay, so in NCERT, it is given that this devaluation is done to boost exports, because whenever the rupee value depreciates, exporters are getting benefited, right? See, if I say $1 is equal to 65 rupees, this is the exchange rate, value of rupees with respect to foreign currency. If I say $1 equal to 70 rupees, now what is actually happening? The value of rupee is decreasing, exchange rate is increasing. Clear? So if I am an exporter, what will I do? I will go and export, I will get the dollars and exchange the dollars for Indian rupees. If I get 65 rupees per dollar, it would benefit me, or if I get 70 rupees, it would benefit me. Getting 70 rupees is good for an exporter, right? So from export perspective, depreciation is going to benefit. So similarly, in devaluation, what will happen? Exports can be promoted. With that note, devaluation is being done. So this is a very simple concept that is explained in the NCERT. So what is the effect of the devaluation is what is being asked. Now, similarly, you have this concept explained in your economy NCERT, that is money multiplier concept. So what happens? You have to learn what is meant by money multiplier. So from this very small equation, it is very clear that when money multiplier is increasing, what will happen to the cash reserve ratio? It will fall. So the question is very direct. Money multiplier in an economy increases with which one of the following? If it increases, what happens to the cash reserve ratio? Or if it increases, with what? Statutory liquidity ratio in the banks getting increased or not? So again, a very direct question which you can solve from NCERT. So examples of application-oriented questions. See, application-oriented questions are those which need you to imply all your understandings and then come to one conclusion. It's like a problem-solving thing, right? So which one of the following is likely to be the most inflationary in its effects? You know what is inflation from your basics, and now you have to analyze all these things. Doing this will lead to what? Which of the following is more like towards inflation? More will lead to inflationary effects, whether it is repayment of public debt or borrowing from the public to finance budget deficit. Okay, so you have to go through the options and apply what is meant by inflation and what are the causes of inflation. So among the causes, you will know what is actually triggering inflation. And these are some actions. You have to analyze these actions, whether it will lead to inflation or not. See, creation of new money again will increase the money supply in the market. It will lead to inflation. Okay, so it is a very basic application-oriented question from NCERT, and these are the questions which are already asked in previous year UPSC prelims. See, in this page, this is your 12th standard NCERT, Open Economy, Macroeconomics, okay? Open Economy chapter. Here they have explained about the exchange rate. What is nominal exchange rate? What is effective exchange rate? Real effective exchange rate, nominal effective exchange rate. So this is a topic which is about the exchange rate mechanisms. So what is mean by nominal effective exchange rate and what it implies for the economy? If this exchange rate is higher, what it implies? If the exchange rate is getting lower, then what would be the impact? Okay, so we have to learn it from analytical perspective. And see, this is your question again asked in the UPSC. So if you have done your NCERTs with conceptual clarity, then definitely it would be easy for you to answer these kind of questions. Again, what type of questions they are asking? See, increase in nominal effective exchange rate indicates what? Appreciation of rupee. Okay, so here it is again very simple and easy. You have to just know the application part of it. What happens if this value is getting increased? Clear? So in that way, you have to learn your NCERT, analyze it conceptually, have some clarity. So this is another example. So this is about lender of last resort. So in this unit, you will study about the different functions of RBI. So we know that RBI is going to be the lender of the last resort. In that note, we will be learning what is meant by this. But here we have asked the question, the central bank's function as a lender of last resort includes which of the following? So you have to have a brief idea. So simply don't learn lender of the last resort means RBI is going to give you at the time of your financial crisis and bankruptcy. It is not like that. So it means what? You have to have some amount of clarity. Okay, so this is how you have to link your NCERT with the advanced textbooks. And again, by solving this, see, by reading this lender of last resort, if it is not explained in detail in the NCERT, then pick up your advanced textbook and see what it is. This is how you have to make your study integrated. Clear? And again, this is very easy question. See, other things remaining unchanged, market demand for a good might increase if. So it is about demand and the price of the product. So what happens if this demand of a good is increasing, or the increase or decrease in demand of a good is dependent on which of the following factors? If the price of the substitute increases, it's again very easy if you understand the law of demand. Okay, so this is again your NCERT. Here the law of demand is explained. If you have understood that clearly, then these are the areas in which you are going to apply the concepts and solve the answer. It is very simple, right? So what happens if the price of the product is increasing? What happens to its demand? Okay, if the price of the product is decreasing, what will happen to its demand? It's very simple. It's as simple as that. So solving economy MCQs in prelims will again give you a very significant edge, because we will have very easy 4 to 5 questions every year from NCERT. And from economy, in the last 5 years, we can see maximum to 17 to 18 questions in the prelims. Okay, so 16, 17, 18 are the total number of questions asked from NCERT. In this 4 to 5 is again going to give you a big difference when compared with the other students, right? So give more focus to NCERT and analytical approach.